Hey, this is Tim Leung. I'm excited because today I get to share with you one of my dad's favorite all-time dishes, Chinese beef stew in clay pot. I remember growing up, this was a dish that always seemed to be on the table every single time we went out to eat. My dad adores beef, don't they all? And this is his #1 go-to fave. Better yet, I'm going to show you our foolproof method that allows us the versatility to create many different dishes, giving you tender, delicious, slow-cooked beef stew in an instant's notice. Our favorite tool for this dish is that workhorse of the 70s, the slow cooker. Now, some of you might be saying, 70s, I wasn't even born. And slow cooker, come on, Tim, you can't caramelize, you can't layer flavors, you can't get complex Chinese flavors out of a slow cooker. Put your fears aside. I'm going to share with you a few last-minute hacks that will put your taste buds into umami overload. But first, let's take a look at the beef. Now, resist the temptation to use only one cut, the ubiquitous chuck. Rather, the traditional cut used by Chinese for centuries is the brisket, and the part next to it called the plate. But the ultimate highest expression of this dish, as every true aficionado will tell you, doesn't even come from meat at all, but from the tendon. Tendon? Many cooks have absolutely no use for what they consider a tough, inedible part of the animal, fit only for your dog's chew toy. But this is what will set you apart if you want to impress a real, authentic fan of this Chinese dish. Here we go. Don't be alarmed. I know there's a lot of beef here. You don't have to use all this. Now, the reason we do this is that we like to make a big batch and keep it in the freezer. Here we go. This cut of meat is one that's very familiar to any pitmaster or, I suppose, Jewish grandma. It's the brisket. A lot of people prefer the flat. We like the point. It will be unctuous, delicious, and tender when we're done with it. Here you have something that maybe you've never used. It is tendon. And when you tenderize the tendon, it is not stupid. It is absolutely delicious. It can even be eaten cold in a salad with spicy peanuts, cilantro, green onions, and lots of hot sauce. This is the beef plate. Notice all the silver skin. It is inedible. It is like rubber. But if you cook it long enough, even this will yield its secret deliciousness. Listen to me. Don't try to cut these things now. You're gonna wind up slipping and cutting yourself. They are way too tough. Let time do its magic, and you can cut it up into little chunks later. Okay, now one little thing here. I cut away a little bit of the fat to expose the marbling. Now, I wanted to show you something. Look at the streaks. Look at the direction of the grain. When you slice it up, you want to cut against the grain. Against the grain here. Here, you cut it this way, all right? But first, we need to purge the meat. Before you even throw it into the slow cooker or the Le Creuset, don't skip this step. Come on. While we're waiting for the beef to boil, let me show you a couple things here. I love Thai basil. Don't know what to do with the stems, right? I use the leaves at the end. I throw the stems into the stewing liquid. Also, here are some things I like to use. Bay leaves, star anise, peppercorns, coriander, okay, dried shrimp, mushrooms. Of course, lots and lots of garlic. Where's my ginger? Now, if you're like, I don't have all these ingredients, I don't want all these ingredients, what's the minimum that I can get away with. Let me tell you. Ginger, must have. Garlic, must have. Star anise. In a pinch, go get yourself a jar of Chinese 5-spice powder. And that will get you in the ballpark. If you got the ingredients, might as well use them, right? Use what your mama gave you, they say. My wife hates it when I get garlic all over the place. Now, it doesn't have to be really pretty because no one's ever going to see this. Take all your yummy ingredients and let's go put them in the slow cooker. So this is my beast of a slow cooker. It's ginormous. In here, I have a can of chicken broth, a can of beef broth, and we're going to top it off with some water. I might as well use my stems. You can smell it already. Soy sauce.
All the aromatics you saw me put in.
And a little rice wine. As you can see, there's a lot of impurities and a lot of scum. And that's why we do this. We don't want all of that to end up in our sauce. You don't want all that. I already pulled the beef tendons out. Now look at this. It's hard, like solid rubber. Okay, I rinsed it out real good, but you can't eat that. You can't even cut it with a knife. So don't bother, okay? You're gonna hurt yourself. You're gonna wind up with stitches. Then throw them in the pot. Now sometimes it's like a game of Tetris, getting all this stuff to fit in there. The next step is the easiest or the hardest, depending on your perspective: waiting. Your house will fill with such incredible beefy aroma. It will be impossible for your stomach to stop growling. You don't have to use a slow cooker. My next favorite method is to use an enamel-covered cast iron pot like a Le Creuset and just stick it in the oven. Maybe you like a pressure cooker or an Instapot. I've always felt like the flavors are just a little bit flat in the pressure cooker, but an Instapot is a great way to save time. My wife likes the slow cooker, and I'll tell you why. Different textures in Chinese cooking is vital. You actually want different levels of tenderness between the brisket, the plate, and the tendon. The slow cooker allows me to pull the pieces out at the moment they're done to perfection. Okay, so this beef stew has been simmering away for hours now. I'll be honest with you, it's a little longer than I like, but we went out with the kids and lost track of time. So come on over, let me show you something. My dad likes it soft enough to suck up through a straw. I have a feeling this is gonna be my dad's style. Now look here, watch this. Chopstick, all the way through. No problem at all, look at that. Doesn't need a fork, look at that. Look at that. It's way soft. In fact, it's a little too soft. So we're gonna pull it out and let it cool down in the fridge. Here you see my lovely wife pouring the stewing liquid through a very fine sieve. We save this liquid gold in the fridge or even in the freezer for a consomme base for soups, sauces, and broths. Notice, she has no need to skim for fat. We've got an easy way to take care of that later. Look at that amazing pile of delicious meat. Now, resist the temptation to slice it up right now, because it's way too hot to handle. Just leave it in the fridge to firm up, and you'll have a much easier time later. Okay, it's the next day. Now, remember I told you there was an easy way to get rid of the fat? What we do is we just put it in the fridge overnight. Now, check this out. Get a close-up here. There is this little hockey puck of beef fat. If you don't want to eat it, you can get rid of it.
Oh dear.
So all you have to do, you see, you just scrape this off. Look at the gelatin in the broth. It is lip smacking goodness. You only get that through hours of boiling bones or tendon. That stuff will give you incredible mouthfeel. If you want, you can throw this away, but I like to fry potatoes in it for my family. I can't eat it because I'm on keto, but my family can, ooh, and they love it. And then I save this. I save this super thick consomme for au jus, broth for like ramen. You want the best bowl of ramen you've ever had? I use this for gravies and sauces, and there you go. This goes back in the fridge or even in the freezer. Now we turn our attention to the vegetables. Again, this is completely up to you. Now we used garlic and ginger in the stewing process. It's nice to bring freshness to your slow cooker dishes. We will create that by adding fresh garlic, fresh ginger, and fresh Thai basil. Also, you don't want to put your vegetables into your slow cooker. Man, they'll come out like mush. And I'm gonna be quiet and go to background music. Now, one word about potatoes and carrots. Being keto, I don't eat them, I don't touch them. You gotta watch out. Even if you use store-bought curry paste, you gotta check the back to see if the carb is too much. Now, if you notice, my left hand, even though it's still a little stiff, it's much better. Praise God. For those of you who don't know, I had a stroke, and you can find videos and interviews about how we're scratching our way through this, but I thank God my left side's coming back. I came home in a wheelchair, but as you can see, I'm much better now. This is your plate. All right, here's the silver skin, but now it's chilled, so we can go ahead and cut it. And how do we cut it? We cut it against the grain. Now we turn our attention to the brisket. We have plates, we got tendon, and now the brisket. Showed you the ingredients? No. Okay. In a jiffy, you can use pre-packaged curry. Here's curry powder. Here is curry in a brick. My favorite brand is the one that has to do with apples and honey. Okay, look carefully. There's our Thai pastes that come already ground up. They're delicious, but they're very spicy. So you can mix and match. You can make your own. Here are some shortcuts.
Curry leaves. Ginger. And garlic.
Now, alternatively, you can grind up garlic and ginger in a paste and have that ready in your fridge. I'd recommend a pinch of salt to preserve it. Now we're putting in the root vegetables. I like my celery and onions a little firm, so we're gonna wait until later.
Look at that creamy gravy.
I wish you could smell this. Everybody says that, right? I gotta say it. Fish sauce.
18 minutes, we can add our firmer vegetables, our celery and onion. This is going to create such a luscious background for our succulent and tender. Oh, I'm sorry. Our succulent and tender. Beef, all simmering away. Now, we add our Thai basil. Now's a good time to add the Thai basil. We just add that there. Give it a little stir, and there we go.
Now, we've got some good friends, Gordon and Shirley from San Francisco, just to eat with us today. And so we're very happy. You're gonna love it. Okay, can I have the camera? Okay, excuse the mess. We have a lived-in house with a bunch of kids. This is my beautiful wife. Look at that. Oh, is she gonna come over? And oh, that's my kids. Say hi, Joey.
Hi. Hi.
Oh, and there's my, go ahead, baby.
Yeah!
Oh, yeah. Try some. Gordon, yes, please.
Oh boy. Hey,
Okay.
just dream come true, man.
Or you can, yep, use a spoon to get gravy. Oh, look at that.
Oh.
Okay. Mmm.
Oh.
What do you think?
Can I talk?
So
soft.
Sure. Too soft.
So soft, not too soft.
All right.
Oh, man.
Honey, can you help? Can you help serve Shirley some? Shirley. Okay. What do you think?
It's just very soft. It's not too spicy, and then it's full of coconut milk and very yummy. And
Oh.
yeah,
Good job, Tim.
It's
Excellent.
smell 呢個咖喱牛腩好好味，佢唔辣，同埋咧係好 juicy，同埋係有呢個 milk coconut milk 喺裡面，係好好味。
Wow. Oh, me. Get that? What do you think, honey?
It's very, very good. Very tender, soft, luscious, rich, delicious.
Wow.
good.
你有冇食過啲牛筋啊？Gordon，食多啲，食多啲。
多啲
超好食。勁。
Okay.
Tim Leung, oh yeah.
Please try this at home, okay? Like I said, you can take shortcuts. You can use a pre-packaged curry mix, or you can make the curry from scratch. You can break out your mortar and pestle. You can do it the hard way, but quite frankly, if you're that good, you already know what you're doing. This time in particular, I didn't make it very spicy. You can make it as spicy as you want, but I'm telling you, the unctuousness, the tenderness, the creaminess. I mean, this is the ultimate beef stew. You're gonna love it. You gotta try this at home.
Please like us and subscribe.
All right. Okay. See you next time.